Will those in favour of this draft resolution please...
It was in 1967 that the UN Security Council adopted Resolution 242. Lasting peace in the Middle East depends on the Israeli armed forces withdrawing from the occupied territories. Over a decade later, the Camp David agreements are signed under the aegis of the United States. This is the first agreement that frames the negotiations on the autonomy of the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. In 1993, the Oslo Accords are the most successful to date. They start a peace process with each side formally recognizing the other. But despite the optimistic start to the Oslo process, there have been several sticking points that have been impossible to resolve. Firstly, the status of Jerusalem. Palestinians and Israelis both doggedly claim ownership of the holy city. Within it is the Wailing Wall, the most sacred place of Judaism, while the Aqsa Mosque is one of the holiest sites of Islam. Considering its great historic, religious and symbolic importance, the city was the subject of several statutes. In 1947, the UN granted it international status. But 20 years later, following the Six-Day War, Israel took control of East Jerusalem and the West Bank. The 1993 Oslo Accords allowed the Palestinians to gain more autonomy, but it also led to an increase of Israeli settlements on the West Bank, another major sticking point. On December the 23rd, the Security Council condemned the settlements for the first time since 1979. The US Secretary of State told the international community that a two-state solution is impossible while these outposts remain. A third sticking point is borders. The Palestinians retain a claim on territory occupied by Israel since 1967 and demand the withdrawal of Israeli troops. Although it's been declared illegal by the UN General Assembly, the 700-kilometre-long wall built in 2002 continues to exacerbate tensions. Other points of disagreement regularly return to the negotiating table, such as the issue of water, a scarce resource in the Middle East, and also the return of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians who went into exile during the conflict. This Sunday, a new round of peace talks involving 70 countries is taking place, although Israel and the Palestinians have not sent representatives. Despite this, the international community remains on message that the only solution is a two-state solution.